What do everybody just Courtney? And I wanted to talk to you today about an old series of mine that I love, and I have searched high and low, far and motherfucking wide to find it, so I could watch it again. And the series is called Masters of Horror. Okay, Masters of Horror came out 2005. It only ran 2 seasons. Now they had this supposed to be 1 season on network television, but as we all know, horror and network television don't motherfucking cut it. It don't. So I ain't gonna even include that season within this. And I don't even think they call it the Masters of Horror. They changed the name or whatnot. So what was Masters of Horror? Basically a group of all your favorite old head and new head motherfucking horror directors. They got together. Homeboy Mick Garris. He got all his people together, and they decided they were gonna do almost like an anthology series. Well, basically, yeah, you could call it an anthology, but rather as different seasons be a certain thing, it'll be like each episode is different. And so we had Ty West, John Carpenter, motherfucking Eli Roth, Guillermo del Toro, let's see, Toby Hooper, who else? Clive Barker, just Lucky McPhee, just all these different motherfucking horror directors and all that stuff. And 2 seasons, like I said, each season was like 13 episodes. And it premiered on Showtime. And it was my favorite fucking shit. You hear me? I had bought all the DVDs and all that stuff. Now, listen, I ain't even got even half of them no more. They got lost in transit when I was moving back home from New Orleans. So I tried to look through like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Hulu, and trying to see that any of them had, like, the Masters of Horror. It was on Hulu for a minute, but then it left. So by the grace of the Almighty, I had got this app on my phone called Tubi TV, and I was looking through it because I like horror. So I was looking at how the old horror movies and whatnot, and then I saw the Masters of Horror. Y'all might go hear me say Masters of the Universe, but forgive me if y'all hear me. So I was like, I know y'all fucking lying, and they had all the fucking episodes. I am here gag. I was gagging. I was a happy bitch. You hear me? So what I wanted to do was I don't know if I'm gonna go through all of them. Now, being that I am watching this again, the ones that I didn't really particularly care for back then, I might actually like, and I might actually, just go over them or whatnot. But as of right now, I want to go over my favorite ones. And so, I decided I'm going to start with my favorite of all of them. And it goes by the name of Cigarette Burns. Cigarette Burns, it was written and directed by John Carpenter. You know who that is. The horror god. And starring Norman Reedus. We all know who Norman Reedus, Boondock Saints bitch, and everybody's favorite dingy looking sexy ass motherfucking redneck girl. And had what's this dude's name? You see him on everything, like all kind of horrors, obscure kind of fucking shit, independent shit. Udo Kier, he that motherfucker with them crazy eyes and all that stuff. His eyes are pretty. He has beautiful eyes, but the way he bulk them and all that stuff, it kind of spooks me or whatever. And Cigarette Burns is my favorite one. It is my favorite. What I wish that they would have done was make Cigarette Burns into a 2-hour movie, because I would love to see more of the mythos of that universe that John created, that Mr. Carpenter created, and all the stuff with the story. I wanted to know more. I wanted to see how far this rabbit hole that Daryl's I was gonna say Daryl, y'all gonna hear me say Daryl, whatever. That Norman Reedus character Kirby Sweetman, how far down that rabbit hole he was gonna go. You know, being that it wasn't gonna be too much because being that, you know, the episodes were nothing but like an hour. So let's get about what this whole episode was about. Okay. I had this thing when like certain shows and motherfucking even podcasts. I'm into podcasts right now. And so when the storyline is based on this motherfucking fabled or infamous, this legend of a piece of artwork, movie, it could be a book, it could be a painting, a piece of music, and all that stuff that's supposedly be cursed, that if whoever is in the hands of, if it's read, if it's watched, if it's played, if it's heard, if it's seen, that you just go full on motherfucking bonkers and bad luck befalls upon you, or if you in a crowd of motherfucker, everybody die horribly and things like that. Curse objects, basically. And so that's what this one is about, cigarette burns. It's based about this motherfucking movie called Le Absolute Defend. Don't even try it, bitch. Don't even try it. Listen, the absolute end of the world. That's basically what it translated to. And so there's this rich dude played by Udo Kier, and he hired Daryl's character, which his name on here is Kirby Sweetman, basically to find this piece of work, this movie. Everybody who's in that scene, like that, that basically like they love old movies, like infamous or movies that been blacklisted or some fucking shit, that, you know, it was just too much, that you know, that it caused a uproar or whatever. And that's basically what this movie did. And so, you know, he wants Kirby to find it. And so Kirby, he's there at the man house and all that stuff. He's a rich motherfucker. And you know, home dude, the rich man, he don't have that much live. He don't have that much time left. And so he said before he go, he wants to see this goddamn movie. And so, you know, he asked Kirby, you know, what do you know about it? And Kirby laid down the motherfucking logistics about it. And, you know, Kirby know his shit. He's a what they call him? Cinephile, whatever, and stuff like that. And, you know, he said, like the rich dude, like, well, I guess you got your own collection, which he don't, because he poor. But being that he is a, you know, what they call it, I'm gonna say tracker, that he can motherfucking find this shit, he get first deals through the looks. So he gets to see the shit. So, you know, they walking around this dude's office or whatnot, and homeboy gives him some paperwork. It's basically like some information about it, and then they talk about the man that created it, Bakovich, Baka, whatever. The dude, the director that created it and all that stuff. He's no longer here. He dead. But you know, basically it was a couple of screenings, and one of the screenings that, you know, a whole lot of people died and all that. And then, like, when homeboy, the director, was going to you know, motherfucking deuces across them borders, they stopped them, snatched the movie, and motherfucking burned it. And, you know, it was always been said that it wasn't finished. It wasn't a finished work. It was a work in progress. So he had most shit to put on that motherfucker. And so, you know, they walking around, and basically that's what Rich Man want. He wants that film. He said he already know his soul going to hell because he a fucked up individual. But, you know, he want to use his last bit of life to have the ultimate power. Basically, that movie could be used as a fucking weapon, as we see further along down the motherfucking episode. So, you go around his office, and you see, like, behind his chair, if you ain't know it better, you'll think it's a reproduction of some angel wings. And I ain't no reproduction. Them are pure D man fucking angel wings. Now, with him being rich, he was able to buy props off that goddamn movie. And so he got the wings, and he also got the main prop of the movie. So we go to this room and open the door, and you see this tall, androgynous looking, motherfucking big watermelon head looking ass being. And you can see that motherfucker ain't been fed, washed, or nothing. I feel so sorry for that motherfucker. And you can see the way that Norman look, he is petrified. He is scared as the fuck. And you know, the dude, Rich Man, he typical ass motherfucking entitled ass rich prick. You know, he fucking with the goddamn angel. Cause that's basically what it is. It's an angel. And you know, he tells the angel, tell Sweetman what you told me. And basically he said the movie is not destroyed. He said he is tied to the movie like a soul is tied to flesh. If anything would have happened to the movie, he would know. So basically that's what it was. That was the angel used on the movie. And so homeboy, rich dude, basically tells him, like, listen, I'm gonna give you once I see it, I'll let you go to your I'll let you have it at your movie theater for 2 weeks. And you'll be the first one to watch it. I won't give it to nobody else. And then he said, and then, you know, being that these rare finds, this is what Norman said, these rare finds, that's expensive. That's expenses. And all that shit. And you know, rich dude talking about, I'll pay for everything. And I also give you $100,000. This is me. $100,000, nigga? Really? You rich, motherfucker. You better add a couple of extra motherfucking zeros on that shit, nigga. Cause, like, listen, you was in the presence of a motherfucking divine being, an angel, and you just gonna give me $100,000? Nigga, them pennies. That's pennies on a dollar, motherfucker. If I'm finna lose my soul or whatever, you better add a couple more extra zeros, bitch. So he says 200,000. And that exact number. And homeboy said, alright. Which, listen here, Kirby. I'd have said, listen, nigga. That motherfucker want that movie that bad. He'd have paid that extra money, nigga. I'm just saying. Hell, you got people work for you and all that stuff. They need their salaries paid and shit. But he goes, and that's what he do. So we go to basically his movie theater. Kirby's movie theater. He owns this like this old school movie theater where they show like old movies, rare movies and all that fucking shit, right? And he got this dude that basically runs the projector and all that stuff. And what this dude is doing, he is going through the film, cutting, splicing the film and everything. He is looking for a specific thing. You know, when them like you watch them old movies and stuff like that, and you see and you look at the film and it look like it's about to catch on fire. You see a ring of fire or whatever. I don't know what causes that. Maybe exposure to a light or whatever, whatnot. But they call that cigarette burns. And so basically what he does, he goes and look through all the old films. That in this scene, he basically got one from a Dario Argento film. And Dario Argento, he has a motherfucking selection up in here too. Is one of my favorites. But so he does that. And so he goes talk to you know, Kirby and all that stuff. They're going back and forth. And he tells him about the movie and all that stuff. And even he said, that is it for real? Is it for real? Cause you know, everybody who who likes that type of shit, they are basically know, you know, they done heard of that motherfucking movie. So, you know, Kirby said, I'm finna do it, I need the money, blah, blah, blah. And so we see a picture of this chick on this motherfucker on his desk. So basically this is what it is. He was married, he's a widow. Recently lost his wife, the way it's going and stuff like that. Get what? That motherfucker was a junkie. And so was his goddamn wife. Them motherfuckers, they were two crackheads in love, y'all. And all that stuff. If you do crack together, I guess you stay and crack together. So that's what it was. Now, his wife, she the one wanted to get that movie theater for him because Kirby knows all about movies. Obscure, rare, hard to find motherfucking movies. That's his judge. That's his niche. And so they go to, you see a flashback and you see them talking to her dad. Dad just looking at, boy, when I tell you they all cracked out, they scratching like this and all that stuff, jittery and all that. She running and doing run-on sentences and Norman just staring at the dude like, all dead in the ass, soul just motherfucking gone, y'all. And so, you know, basically her father gives him the money to get that movie theater. But he said, this is not a loan. No, this ain't a gift. This a loan. I want my goddamn money, nigga. And you get yourself clean and you fix my daughter. And I said, see, that's where you fucked up. That's your daughter. How you gonna put that responsibility into the hands of her enabler and her goddamn partner in crime, bro? That's how you fucked up, bro. So, but you know, as we find out that she did killed herself in the motherfucking bath and stuff like that. So he been having flashbacks and all that stuff. And you know, the father is basically stalking him. And you know, about the money. And he blames Kirby for the death of his daughter. So the first person he goes to is basically like he had his the dude that worked for him help him find basically this critic. He goes to see this critic and basically to hear about the movie. And so you walk into this homeboy's crib, right? You know, he's a recluse now. And all that stuff. That motherfucker spooked his soul, y'all. And so he goes up in there and everything. And all through his house, you see nothing but towers and just stacks of motherfucking paper. Just every motherfucker where, y'all. And so you see this dude behind us in the desk at his desk typing. He's typing on an old school typewriter, y'all. The one where you crank that motherfucker and you like if you make a mistake or you gotta do something, you do the knob and you look, you fix it and you pull it back, but every time, you know, you try to get it back where it was and you start typing, it never align. It never be where it was before. It always be a little bit higher or a little bit lower and all that fucking shit, right? And so he basically says that, you know, the critic talking about, you know, we put our blind faith in movie directors. Basically for them to take us a trip to anywhere they want us to be. It's just basically like you, for what I get, it's like you putting your faith into God and you expecting him to take care of you and take you where you need to be and all that fucking shit. So I'm guessing it's like the similarities with that. And so when he talked about what is at the screening, that he missed it. I think he said that he missed the screening or whatnot. But regardless of whatever, he had got tainted by that motherfucking movie regardless. And I'm trying to remember, did he watch any of it? He watched some of it because the nigga crazy in that, right? And so he basically said that, you know, all that paperwork, everything that's going on. Because, you know, Norman was like, well, do you got some work about written piece and everything so I can read or whatever like that? And he said, I'm working on a review now. All that paper stacked up everywhere. That's one review that he ain't finished yet, y'all. That motherfucker been writing since the motherfucking screening. That's how crazy that motherfucker is now. He said, I'm almost finished. I like, is you sure? Are you sure? I don't think so, sir. I don't think so. So what homeboy gives Kirby is basically he had interviewed Bekovich. That's the director. And it was, interviewed and he recorded. So basically he gave Norman the recordings and all that stuff like that. And so we see Norman, he goes there and start listening to the recording, the interview and all that stuff. And next thing you know, he loses time. And then he goes to sleep and you see that cigarette burn and all that, so that ring of fire. And the motherfucking movie has imprinted itself on him. And it's basically how bad this motherfucker is. You don't even have to see the film. That's what I'm gathering. If you get a contact, anything that is associated with it, I guess anything with the director, that basically he is on or whatever, you get affected. You get imprinted. And so he takes that. He's like, I want to say in France somewhere. Cause like he goes like New York, Canada, overseas, I'm thinking. Or is it just Canada? I'm not for sure. So he goes see this friend of his. And his friend basically, he knows about the movie and all that. And he's trying to tell him that, ain't nothing but legend. You need to stay the fuck away, cause you know what happened in that movie, and yeah. Basically, he tells him like, well, I don't know where is it. I ain't got no information. I ain't got this, yeah, like that. But homeboy is lying. So when Norma goes and leaves and stuff like that, he does a little backtrack and he hears the dude talking on the phone, pretty French, right? But Norman understood everything he's saying, but Norman at first tried to make it seem like he don't understand French. That's what I'm gathering. So basically, he confront homeboy and say, you lied to me and all that stuff. You know more about it than what you saying. And so the friend basically tells him that he was at one of the screenings and he was over the projector or whatnot. And he basically tell how he punked out and how as soon as the movie started, he turned his head. But then he started hearing the screams. Then the smell of blood and flesh, it smelled like a slaughterhouse. And so when he turned around and basically tried to stop the tape, it fucked up his hand. His hand, he pulled his hand out of his pocket like this, but all of this is burnt over. So he just looked like he just got like this. And basically tell him like, don't do it, bruh. And basically say you done got it printed and everything's down here. Leave while you still can. And Norman like, listen, I just need that movie. I won't even watch it, but I need that motherfucking movie and stuff like that, right? And so he gives he gets some information and he goes to basically this I think they Russian or some fucking shit. This motherfucker perverted ass some bitch. And basically he knows how to get to the person that knows more about the film. Like I said, it's a rabbit hole. Kirby keep going further down this motherfucking rabbit hole. And so when he goes and meet the dude, he has a taxi, to the taxi away from him. And so you see the dude, bald head. He look like homeboy that's saying, too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy. It hurts. Too sexy for my life. Too sexy. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I like that song. I love that song. But, so he goes meet him, and like there's a chair in front of him, and there's this motherfucking crate, and it has the name in French of the motherfucking movie. So Norman thinking that's the movie right there. And so the dude, the bald head motherfucker, he basically talking about, how he admired Bekovich and, fuck Hollywood. And that he inspired him so much that he decided he'll movie director himself and stuff like that. Basically, homeboy do snuff films. That's what he do. And so, what's a snuff film? Basically, you kill a motherfucker on type and, sell it. That's basically like what I gather from the shit or whatever and all that stuff like that. And so, sell it to the richest buyer and all that shit. Oh, evil. The evil men do, y'all. But, he goes talk whatever and all. And so Norman goes and get to the box and he goes pull out this stuff and it's pictures of certain scenes in the movie. And you see this envelope and it has the wife's name and address in Vancouver, Canada. And all that stuff. He goes and see picture of the angel. And you see how they done tied the angel. And it look like these little kids torment throwing shit. Screenshots and all that stuff. I said, wait a minute. So being that everybody that was associated with that movie died. So all them kids died, huh? So this motherfucking nigga done sold kids. And so like you see in one scene, which is strange. It's kind of surrealist in this. The way it look, like you see this dude, he's looking out. It look like there's a forest, but between the forest, it look like rivers of blood or whatever. And so Kirby gets hemmed up by sexy from her shirts, goons and shit, and get drugged up, knocked out. So when he wakes up, he is hog tied to a chair, and he's sitting across the motherfucking taxi driver, y'all. And so out of the back, here come Too Sexy for his shirt. Homeboy got them leather chaps, bitch. He got that motherfucking hood on from the dungeon shit, bitch. And he got a fucking machete. And so where he goes and basically karate chop that poor woman in her neck and basically cuss her head off. And he talking about all this spiel about movies or art or whatever. And I'm like, I'm too busy looking at the woman's head. I said, Lord, that woman was just doing her job. She was being a taxi driver. She was trying to make her money for her family and all that motherfucking shit and everything. And so he goes and sit on Norman's lap, right? Caressing his hair and all that stuff. And I like, listen, motherfucker, get off my baby daddy. Cause I would like to caress his hair too. But I love Norman Reedus, y'all. That's my baby. I love him. But so he goes and breaks it down for him. And tells him that basically that the movie is a weapon. And he said, just think how they sacrifice a divine being on film. So the whole act of them sacrificing and the energy that is dispersed during the act, it printed itself on the film and stuff like that. And so they was already cursed as soon as they motherfucker fuck with that angel. So whoever watches it, it's like a fucking virus, basically. And it spreads and it spreads and it spreads. And he said, but the power was that Bakovich, it was the way he edited the cuts of it that made it into a weapon. It's basically how execution, the cause, how it executed what it needed to do to basically, infect everybody. And so, remember what I told you, the film, all them film infects, so he loses time, cigarette burns. And so next thing you know, blackout, lose time. Norman standing around, he bloody, and he got the machete, and all around him is dead bodies. And so he goes to, I'm too sexy for my shirt, and basically said, where's the film, who got it, or whatever. And within his dying breath, too sexy for his shirt basically tells him, Katya? I think it's Katya. Is that right? Y'all know I fuck up folks' names, y'all. So he goes to the wife, the widow of Bakovich, the motherfucking director of the film. And he goes to meet her, and she said, wow. She said, you the first one I seen. She said, hardly nobody makes it this far. And, while he's there, while he goes up in the elevator, he sees his wife. Now, whereas he was having flashbacks of his wife, now his wife is showing herself in form. And so, like, that is getting worse. And so, she basically tells him that, you know, it's only going to get worse. And, you know, she talking about her husband basically said, you know, we moved to Canada, and the way to make movies to become cheaper. And she said he was right. 20 years later, he's right. Because where are movies filmed at now? The majority of them, Canada. Because it's cheaper. And so she asked him, like, why you want to watch the film? And he said, I could watch any film any day, but he said, why watch a normal film? Well, I could watch an extraordinary motherfucking film. And so she said, you sound just like him. And, you know, the parallels with that, what he said, it was basically like, okay, like, what it was, last week, a week or so ago, I had recap Dead Wax. That's a show on Shudder. And it's about that woman, about this girl that she basically go try to find this infamous motherfucking record. That basically whoever watch it, they kill themselves. And she basically said the same shit too. But her judge was old records. And so she goes and she gives him the copy of the film. And, you know, she tells him that, you know, he asked her, was that shit true? What happened? She said every bit of it. And she basically said that her husband, you know, her husband killed himself. But that was after he tried to kill her. And she takes off the scarf. You know, you see the a scar around her neck when he tried to slice her head open, slice her neck open and stuff like that. And so he goes, make it back, and he goes, Chunks homeboy, you know, the movie. And listen, homeboy been ready. Homeboy gives gives Kirby money. Listen, rich man, he got a tux on, bitch. He's setting up there a projector, bitch, and he's ready, motherfucker, to live his best life in the last few minutes he got. And so Kirby goes back to his movie theater and is locked up. His father-in-law locked the goddamn movie theater up. And so he pissed. And he gets a call from Rich Man. And Rich Man tells him to come over. And so he goes back to the mansion. Now, mind you, Kirby's father-in-law is following him. And so he goes back to the mansion. He busts up in there. Now, Rich Man got this servant. He's Asian or whatever. And he ain't got no shirt on. He got number slashes and gashes all over his upper body. And he got this knife. He said, you brought that evil thing up in my house. Up in this house. And Kirby like, listen, bro, I was just doing my job. I had nothing to do with it. And he said, but you brung it here. And next thing you know, that motherfucker gouged both his eyes out with that knife, right? But he's laughing through the whole ordeal. And so Kirby goes into the projector room. And, you know, dude was like, he's behind the projector. Listen, homeboy pale, ghastly pale. He's sweating and all that shit. So I'm just watching this shit. Watch this fuck shit. Watch this fuck shit here. He basically said, you know, I called you for you to go find me another film. And he basically tell like the film is like this what is it, teaser trailer or prologue to the soul or some fucking shit, melodramatic shit. And he said, but instead of that, by you finding a movie, I became inspired. And that was the same thing, like he became inspired to make his own. That's what happened to, like, you know, Too Sexy for His Shirt. He basically said he became inspired to make his own. That's when he started making snuff films. And so homeboy, Rich Man, is basically, he said, you know, I'm inspired to make my own shit. And so you see him pulling his fucking intestines out, right? And he's feeding it into the goddamn fucking projector, bitch. Bitch. I like, it ain't never that goddamn serious. It ain't never that motherfucking serious, right? And so Kirby runs and he leaves, and there you go. He goes into like the theater part, and he runs in there, And they go, his father-in-law. His father-in-law was there. And, you know, his father-in-law basically tells that, you know, he lost everything. Basically, after the daughter died, he lost everything. His business, his money, all that stuff. Because he was obsessed with killing Kirby. He followed Kirby everywhere. That's all he did, 24 fucking 7. Dealing with the grief with you know, what happened with his daughter. And so next thing you know, they start tussling for the phone and all that shit. And here we go. Cigarette burn, lots of time. Kirby's in the back row, bloody. The father's in the front, and then the movie playing. And next thing you know, the screen separates, and it's Kirby's wife, which is the man's daughter. She walks out. She bloody as the mug, right? And you know, she goes to her father and basically tell her, I'm cold, I'm this. And you know, the father, he tried to take off his jacket. He said, baby, I got you, I miss you, I'm so sorry, yada, yada, yada. And she tells her, I'm hungry. And she started chewing on her dad's neck, y'all. And so Kirby gets up and walks around and look at it, but it ain't there. It's hallucinations, y'all. And so it's the movie affecting him. And so basically Kirby says, you know what? I know what we need to do now. He said, by us living, we are keeping her tied here, and she would never know any peace. So basically Kirby kills the dad, bashes the back of his skull into the ground. And so he gives him the money, $200,000, and put it up in homeboy's, you know, the father's mouth, you know, whatever. He takes the gun and he sits, and next thing you know, there go his wife again, but she's not bloody. And all that stuff, and she's smiling at him. And Kirby looks at her and says, I love you, and swallows the fucking gun, kills himself. And then next, we see about the angel. Okay, the blind Asian dude and all this stuff, he crawls to where the angel is and gives the angel the key. And so the angel, you know, he pets the dude's head, takes the key, and unlocks himself. He goes into the projector room and snatches the movie. And basically the movie has pictures of his wings getting cut off. You know, he got desecrated and all that stuff like that. And so he's walking down and through the theater, and he looks at Kirby's dead corpse and basically says, thank you for this. Talking about the film. And he walks off, and that's the end of it, y'all. That's my favorite one. Cigarette burns. That's my favorite one, y'all. I will be talking about some more. We're gonna see. Cause I'm trying to think what the next one. I like Hackle's Tale. That's the one that was written based on the short story of by Clive Barker. That one is motherfucking crazy. But it's Clive Barker, so I don't expect nothing less. But yeah, so let me know down below if y'all remember the Masters of Horror. Let me know what was y'all favorite ones. And do y'all want them to do a reboot? I wouldn't mind them doing a reboot. Really. But don't give me no AMC. Don't put it on AMC. Might do better putting it on motherfucking FX. But you know, I would love to see them, you know, them do something like that now. But yeah, that's it. You know, like, subscribe, leave your comments down below, and I'm gonna holler at y'all later.